Hello, I am
Good afternoon.
Dr. Good afternoon. I am Dr. Afif Ali, MBBS from AIMS Patna and PGDDM, consulting physician from Sasaram. I am going to present today the about diet in diabetes. We all know that type 2 diabetes is a very burdensome disease for India as well as the world. The overall the burden of the disease is very high, and we all know that in diabetes there are two kinds of diabetes, which is type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes. I hope I am audible to all of you. In type 1 diabetes, there is it presents from very young age, and type 2 diabetes come present in very in late age, in almost 30 to 40 years of age. In type 1 diabetes, there is in type 1 diabetes there is autoantibodies, and in type 2 diabetes there is no autoantibodies. But in type 2 diabetes there is more of insulin resistance, which leads to the increase in the blood sugar level of blood sugar level of blood. And also there is a decrease in the beta cell mass, which leads to insulin deficiency. We all know that there are two kinds of cells in our pancreas, which is alpha cell and as well as beta cell. The alpha cell produce glucagon, and beta cell produce insulin. So if there is any decrease in the amount of beta cell there in pancreas, it will lead to diabetes mellitus, which is type 2. Now, first of all, to diagnose diabetes, there is some guidelines from ADA, which states that fasting blood sugar of more than 126 is a diabetes, and postprandial blood sugar of more than 200 is diabetes. And if HbA1c comes out to be more than 6.5, it is a diabetes. So overall cases burden, when you look at the case burden of India, the overall case burden in 1990 was 26 million, and in 2016 it has come to 65 million. From 26 million to 65 million, which is more than double. So the diabetes is growing very rapidly, and we all can experience a daily increase in the number of patient cases. Overall, coming to the control of diabetes, for better control of diabetes, if ADA states that if the HbA1c level is from 6 to 7, then we need to go for a good glycemic control by controlling the amount of sugar we eat, by carbohydrate we eat, and controlling the overall activity we have to do in a day. So for type 2 diabetes, we do a good diet control, as well as good healthy lifestyle to maintain diabetes when HbA1c is between 6 to 7. As well as we can add metformin also if there is no control of diabetes. Then coming on to risk factors, there are it can be divided into modifiable risk factors as well as non-modifiable risk factors. And non-modifiable risk factors, we cannot modify it. Matlab, it is there, then it will be there, like age, family history. We cannot modify our age, we cannot modify our family history, and we cannot modify our sex, it is male or female. While other one is a modifiable risk factor, which is of course obesity. If someone is obese, they have higher chances of getting diabetes when they grow old in age. Now recent days we are also seeing that the amount there is increase in the cases of diabetes in age group of 25 to 30 years of age, which is very troublesome, and we need to really consider about making our diet plan accordingly, so that there is less of diabetes in young age. Overall, we should need to maintain a good meal plan and a healthy lifestyle, like aerobic exercises for 15 to 30 minutes in a day, for 5 days a week. This is the ADA guideline for aerobic exercises to decrease to decrease and control the diabetes. So, by a good meal plan, we do not mean that we have to live in depression. We do not have to cut off all carbohydrates from our diet, but we have to know which carbohydrates are good and which carbohydrates are bad, to our health. So to do this, we have to eat a balanced diet, and to boost our energy. It will boost our energy as well as improve our mood also. For example, if we eat a lot of food in a small amount of time, like in lunch we ate a lot of food, and our stomach is full of food, then our mood will also be decreased, because more of the blood supply will be diverted to the stomach, and less of blood supply will reach to brain for its function. So to have a good meal plan, it will also help in increasing the mood and helps in giving energy also. There are many guidelines for diabetes, for diet in diabetes, for control of diabetes using diet. But the overall aim of all those guidelines is to have a nutritional plan which is individualized for every one of you. For example, we cannot have a single nutrition plan which will applicable to all of the people in India. But for every people in India, we need to consider that everyone has to be individualized for their diet plan, and accordingly we have to see about their lifestyle, their socioeconomic status, their likes and dislikes and in food, and the motivation they have to control diet. uh, uh, so so overall, the ADA recommends various methods to control the diet in diabetes. Like there is one is plate method, and second one is carbohydrate counting, and the third one is glycemic index. So we need to know that the in carbohydrate counting, we need to count the amount of carbohydrate we eat from our food. And in plate method, we do not need to count the exact amount of carbohydrate we eat. It is an approx method. We can understand it in this way, that when based on the portion of based on the portion of plate, we can divide our diet accordingly. Like for example, if we eat in a plate, then we have to divide that plate in three parts. One half of the plate is will give to non-starchy vegetables. Non-starchy vegetables like spinach, carrot, tomatoes. These are non-starchy vegetables. It will be half of our plate. Then one quarter, मतलब one fourth of the plate will be protein. It will include dal, pulses, eggs, fish, chicken. Then one fourth will be whole grain items, and remaining one fourth will be whole grain items like brown rice, starchy vegetables like green peas. So overall, we need to understand that plate meters basically conveys that in a plate which we eat, we have to divide the plate in three parts. One half of the plate will be spinach and carrot items, and along with it, we need to add some good fats in our diet. And by good fats, we mean nutrition, nuts in a small amount, and as well as add fruits. And we can add one fruit or tea or coffee without sugar. Then it will reduce the processed food in our diet, and it will help in maintaining a good balanced diet, and help in controlling the blood sugar level. Now coming on to second method, which is carbohydrate counting. The carbohydrate counting states that half of the calorie from which we eat in a day should come from carbohydrate. Half of the calorie that we eat in a day should come from carbohydrate. So if we eat 1800 calories per day, then 800 to 900 calories should come from carbohydrate. And the second thing is, for 4 calorie, there is 1 gram of carbohydrate. So for 4 calorie we have to 1 gram of carbohydrate. Then so if we eat 1800 calories per day, we have to give 800 to 900 calories to carbohydrate, which will come out to be 200 grams of carbohydrate. So we can consider about carbohydrate counting by knowing the amount of carbohydrate in our each meal, like rice, vegetables, how much carbohydrate is present in that meal. We can know by going to the website, many government website which provide the detail of how many calories are present in wheat or rice or bajra, how many calories are there, we can know from that. And third one is glycemic index, and from glycemic index we need to know that the food with high glycemic index, we should avoid the food with high glycemic index. And we should consume food with low glycemic index. For every carbohydrate we have glycemic index. By glycemic index we mean that the amount of time taken by the carbohydrate to digest and increase the blood sugar level. So we all know that there is increase in blood sugar level with every carbohydrate we eat. Like for example, we eat one sugary substance, then it will increase the blood sugar level in our blood. So if the glycemic index is high, then the amount of blood sugar level increase will be very fast and high. And if glycemic index is low, then the sugar level will not rise very fast. So it will help in controlling the blood sugar level by our body and insulin. So food with high glycemic index which we should avoid is bread, potato, watermelon, juices, fruit juices. And food we should consume is low glycemic index diet, like bean, brown rice, tomato, yogurt and apple. So now coming on to which food we should eat more and which food we should avoid, for overall planning our diet, which we should add more. We should add healthy fat in our diet, like from peas, from avocado, from chia seeds. We can add these good fats, as well as a fruit and vegetable. We should eat more of green leafy vegetables. It will have more of fibers, and it will have more of good glycemic control. And we should have high fiber cereals, like whole grain rice, whole grain wheat instead of normal. And high quality of protein, like in eggs. In egg there is very high quality of protein, in yogurt and in bean. So we should add more of these things, and we should avoid eat less of trans fat. We should avoid the packaged food, like ready made food which we get from shops. We should avoid white bread, and instead we should get brown bread, and it will help in good glycemic control. Now coming on to the impact of carbohydrate which have on our diet, like high fiber carbohydrate, which high fiber carbohydrate will slow the release of carbohydrate from our intestines. Like if the food is rich in carbohydrates, it will slow down. Food is rich in fibers, then it will slow down the release of carbohydrate from our intestines. And so we should limit the refined carbohydrates, like refined carbohydrates, like as I already told, that white bread, pasta, rice, these are high carbohydrate diet, and low fat diet. Low Okay. Impact on blood sugar level is the highest of carbohydrate. We all know that carbohydrate increase the blood sugar level maximum, and the protein and fat do not increase it that much. Mm, so consume high fiber complex carbohydrate, slow releasing carbohydrate, and it will prevent insulin surge. Now coming on to sweets. For example, a patient come to your clinic and says that doctor, I have a diabetes, and but I do not want to leave eating sweets. I do like sweets a lot, and I want to keep it in our meal plan. So what will you do? So for that, the key is moderation. For example, if he takes 4 to 5 sweets per day, then we should do moderation. Like we should ask the patient to reduce the amount of sweet he consumes per day. It will help in controlling the blood sugar level, as well as it will help in controlling the overall diet plan. So there is no need to eliminate the sweet altogether. The key is moderation. So whenever ask the patient to whenever he wants to eat sweet, do not eat it with the meal plan. For example, he is taking diet in dinner, though, so he should not eat sugar in evening, sugar in evening, like he should add the sugary substance like mithais in his dinner. It will help in reducing the glucose surge, which actually happens abruptly. So add healthy fat to your diet also. Adding healthy fat to your diet diet also reduces the amount of also increases the amount of time it will take to digest. For example, if we add 50 to 100 gram of fat in our diet, then it will increase the transit time in our gut. So if we are taking 50 a small amount of good fat in our diet, it will help in controlling the diabetes overall. So we for adding fat, we need to consider that there are three kinds of fat in our food. One is unhealthy fat, and other one is healthy fat, and third one is saturated fat. What is a unhealthy fat? Unhealthy fat is all the artificial trans fat which we get is unhealthy fat. We should not take unhealthy fat in our diet, like partially hydrogenated oil, like baked food, like packaged food which we get from our market, and other deep fried food. Deep fried food have partially hydrogenated fat. All these unhealthy fat will increase the chances of having diabetes, and we should consume more of healthy fat, like PUFA, PUFA. We all know that PUFA is very rich, very healthy fat in our diet, and like fish oils, like olive oil, like nut and avocados. These are healthy fats, and omega-3 fatty acid also helps in reducing the cardiovascular risk like stroke, as well as heart attacks. It will help in reducing that by decreasing the amount of inflammation which is there in the blood vessels. For omega-3 fatty acid, we should consider taking salmon fish, tuna, and flaxseed. And third one is saturated fat. So we get unhealthy fat, which is trans fat, then healthy fat, which is PUFA and omega-3 fatty acid, and third one is saturated fat. So about saturated the ADA guidelines is we should not take more than 10% of our meal in form of saturated fat. So yeah, about saturated fat, we should enjoy in moderation. And about the trans fat, we should consume 0% of trans fat. We should not consume any amount of trans fat in our diet. So overall, from all this, we get to know that overall the thing is to eat at regular intervals at set times. Matlab daily, if we are taking lunch at approximately 2 p.m., then we should daily consider taking lunch at 2 p.m. And if we are and start by eating a healthy breakfast, it will help in overall glycemic control, as well as help in providing good energy to our overall day-to-day life. And eat at regular intervals. For every diabetic patient, we should advise that they should not take food in a bulk, they should not take whole food in once, but they should divide their meal plan accordingly, like they should take 5 to 6 small meals every day. Every day, 5 to 6 small meals every day. So keep the calorie intake same for every day. Keep the calories intake same. For example, we if we are giving 1800 calories on a single day, then we should also give the same amount of calories in every day. And in for diabetic diet, there are many other advantages also for a diabetic diet, like it helps in good glycemic control. And if we take diabetic diet, it will help in reducing the amount of the severe risk factors for like stroke and other cardiovascular diseases. And it will help in losing weight also. So if you are considering to lose weight, and if you are obese, we should consider to lose weight, and reducing the weight exponentially decrease the chances of having diabetes. So we should we should have a good meal plan, and we should consider every good thing in diabetic diet, like good healthy fat, and low glycemic index carbohydrates, and high fiber carbohydrates, and polyunsaturated fatty acid, omega 3 fatty acid. These should be considered for a meal plan. And we should go through for a meal plan by having a plate method, or we can go by carbohydrate counting method. So overall, the message take home message from this talk is that instead of taking white rice, we should take brown rice. Instead of taking white bread, we should take brown bread. And instead of taking corn, we should take peas and green leafy vegetables. And instead of taking regular pasta, we should ask for whole wheat pasta. So all these things lead to decrease in the chances of having diabetes, and also it will help in overall control of diabetes. And one more thing I want to convey is that we should consider having this meal plan from the very starting of our life. Like if we have someone who we know who is at 10 to 12 years of age, then we should try to give them this meal plan, so that later on in life they will have less chance of having diabetes. Okay, so this was the talk about diet in diabetes, and thank you very much uh, for your valuable time, and thank you.